ìjà kú o àwọn northern leaders and President Trump ó ti di woro sí woro la mú wọn látàárọ̀ nánà wọ̀nyí la mú wọn nánà wọ̀nyí kí ló dé lórí rògbòdìyàn Olúwa gba ọpẹ́ wa lórí separation Nigeria Olúwa gba ìyìn wa lórí division Nigeria Olúwa gba gbogbo ògo ṣé o mọ̀ wípé President Trump sent a very warning message to the northern leaders and elders that they should stop or cancel or eradicate what they call Sharia law. And at the same time that they should stop what they call terrorism, they should stop financing terrorists. If they refuse to do all these things, President Trump informed them that he's coming to separate Nigeria or divide Nigeria. Now, what you and I have been waiting for. Nigeria ti expire now. Èyí ló mú àwọn northern leaders and elders náà bá ṣe meeting ó ti di woro sí woro ni wọ́n bá fi powerful message ránṣẹ́ sí Trump. Náà ni Trump trending on a dangerous path. We don't support Nigeria's breakup. Unity sacrosanct. Northern leaders want Trump. Northern leaders and elders wọ́n ti fi message ránṣẹ́ sí President Trump wípé ìgbésẹ̀ tó fẹ́ gbé pò fẹ́ pé wọ́n ní Nàìjíríà yẹn o. Kó tread softly ni o. Àìjẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ó máa di woro sí woro. Trump tẹ́mi dẹ̀ mọ̀ kò kí ń like kan máa wọ́n ni àbí kan máa challenge. Ibi tó bá ní kí gbégbé Trump má gbé ló máa fẹ́ gbé. Ibi tó bá ní kí tẹ̀tẹ̀ má tẹ̀ ló máa fẹ́ tẹ̀. Ṣé ọ̀rọ̀ yóò ti bẹ́yìn yọ báyìí? Ẹja sáré débẹ̀ pàápàá. There is no way any part of Nigeria will succeed without a civil war. We are so integrated that it is impossible for us to sit at a conference table and allow each part to go their ways. Ìyẹn ṣe ti ń gbọ́. Àwọn Northern ní pé láyé kò sí bí Nàìjíríà ṣe lè pín tí ò jẹ́ wípé ogun ló máa pín wa. Ipe kò sí bí Nàìjíríà ṣe lè unite tó àbí kán gbà fúnra wọn ipe kán jókòó round table kan wá fẹnu kò bóyá bí referendum ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè fún referendum ipe kan wá decide on the round table wípé okay let us go our separate way ipe kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ àfi tá a bá jagun ohun tí wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa ń bí nìyẹn. There is no way any part of Nigeria will succeed without a civil war. We are so integrated that it is impossible for us to sit at a conference table and allow each part to go their ways. It is not possible. It is not a tea party. There will be war. If any part of Nigeria want to succeed, there will be war. Maybe even more serious war than what we had before between 1967 and 1970. So, if anyone is calling for secession, he is calling for war. And we in the North fought the war to keep this country together. So it will be a contradiction for those of us who try to stop this country from breaking up to now be engaging in activities that will break this country. We don't want this country to break up. Nigeria is a great country as it is. We have problems, but those problems are not enough for us to break up. Can you imagine that? Àwọn problem wo ni ó ń fèsì wa tí gbogbo Nigerians tí wọ́n complain. Ẹ mọ̀ wípé ìyà yín nìkan kan ló wà nínú Nigeria. And Nigeria is a multicultural, àti secular state. Tó jẹ́ wípé we are practicing more than 1, 2, 3 religions. How come tẹ́ máa wá force òfin ẹ̀sìn kan lé gbogbo everybody lórí nítorí pé ẹ fẹ́ kó wá sínú ìgbèkùn. Ẹ fẹ́ ṣe practice slave trade tí àwọn Sokoto kingdom tí wọ́n practice ní ìgbà tí wọ́n àwọn ọba tí wọ́n ṣòwò ẹrú tí wọ́n tà wá fún àwọn Sokoto àwọn ará Sokoto tán tà wá fáwọn Britiko. And that is one of the reasons why tí Northerner especially from Sokoto wọ́n sì ní interest láti kó wa lẹ́rú wípé sẹ́ ìran Yorùbá has to be under them by fire by thunder. They don't care how long tó máa take wọn àbí kí ó máa take wọn láti achieve this. Òun ló fi yẹ kí ẹ̀yin ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kò yẹ kó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin náà lẹ ẹ̀yin ọba lẹ́gbàá bọ̀dẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn ní ayé ìgbà tí wọ́n ta òwò ẹrú tẹ́ ta àwa ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire ọmọ Yorùbá tẹ́ ta wá lẹ́rú with the support and in conjunction with all this Sokoto kingdom. Ta tún wá rí ẹ̀yin olórí tẹ́pọ̀ lórí aládé olórí ọlọ́ba tó jẹ́ pé àwọn tó ta ìran ọmọ Yorùbá tẹ́jọ́ ṣòwò ẹrú nígbà náà àwọn náà lẹ tún wá yàn láàyò tẹ́ wá mú gẹ́gẹ́ bí godfather. It is a disgrace and a shameful thing to any kind of Ojire's king or Yorùbá king to do so. Kí ló dé? Kí lára nígbà ẹ̀yin ọba? Wọ́n ní kò sí problem o. And we in the North fought the war to keep this country. Only we believe this problem can be remedied, and these problems will only be multiplied if we go into war. We love the country. We don't like what some people are doing with the country, but for us to have come from the biggest black nation on earth, it is an honor. And we should try to preserve this honor. We should try to see how we can use the resources we have to build a great world power. The rest of Africa is looking up to us, and they feel sad when we behave as if we want to break up the country. They all look up to. We don't want the country to break up. It is better the way it is, even with all the problems. Can you imagine? Kí ló máa ṣe ẹ̀yin northern leaders yet you were confused, and your confusion, they confuse everybody, they go. Okay, they ask you to stop killing people. Stop all those your northern freedom fighters, you call they are terrorists, to be buying, to be killing Nigerian citizens. You said you cannot stop it. Stop financing terrorism in Nigeria. Remove Sharia law in our constitution and some other things. You refused. Ẹni kò ṣeé ṣe ready láti ju ọwọ́ gbogbo ìyẹn lẹ̀. Yet you don't want division. Ẹ bá wa bèrè lọ́wọ́ Northern kí ló ń fẹ́. They are confused and lost. Northern leaders and others want to eat their cake at the same time. Have it. Me ìdẹ̀rí wọn bá wí bí òṣè ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà wa tẹ́ ẹ̀ decide on our behalf, àwọn ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire. Torí mi ò mogun tó le tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀. What is the meaning of all this now? Wọ́n ní kí Northern náà kí wọ́n jẹ́ wọ́n lé gungun ni. Wọ́n ní ó dáná ńgbà tó ti jẹ́ gungun ni. Ó yẹ gbèjù sílẹ̀. Wọ́n ní ẹran díẹ̀díẹ̀ ṣì wà ńbẹ̀, má jà gbèjù sílẹ̀. Ẹ bá wa bèrè lọ́wọ́ Northern kí ni wọ́n fẹ́. One Nigeria is not negotiable. Unity in Nigeria is not negotiable. Has anything ever united Nigerians? Our color is different. Our language dialect is different. Our culture is different. Our religion is everything divided us. Ni anything in common. Stop it. And you are not ready to stop what is spying Nigerian citizens. And you are still the same one singing one Nigeria. Unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. It's not negotiable. What is wrong with the Northerner? Ẹ tún máa rí wọn o, ibẹ̀ ni kankan là ń lọ o. Ṣé mọ̀ wípé mo gbé kíní jáde lánàá tí mo kí wa kú oríire pé ayọ̀ abara títí pé wọ́n ti gbé gold refiner plant, wọ́n ti wá gbé wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ wa ní Lagos State o, torí ó máa create more employment. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lọ́rọ̀ kì í yé tó jẹ́ wípé bíyà ẹ̀ ń bẹ́yàn kan jà àbẹ́níyàn kan sínú gbogbo nǹkan tó bá sọ tó yẹ kẹjẹ́ kó sink kájọ fọ̀rọ̀ jómi tó rọrọ̀ ká wo ọ̀nà àbáyọ àti ọ̀nà tá fi lè benefit tó fi máa benefit ilẹ̀ wa. Irọ́ hatred tó wà lọ́kàn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ó lẹ máa fi attend sí many times tó bá sọ fún yín kò ń jẹ́ kẹ́ rí ojú ọ̀nà. Gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ yẹn kò yí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tí kò jọ ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá lójú, àwọn Northern ti pariwo síta wípé láyé President Bola Ahmed Tinubu tó bẹ̀ láti wá ṣe kíni, láti wá gbé gold refinery kó gbé wá sí Lagos State. Wípé ṣé wọ́n mining gold ní Lagos State ni. Wọ́n ní Zamfara ní northern part of Nigeria ni wọ́n ti ń wá gold. Ibẹ̀ ni àwọn terrorists wà jù tán ti ń pa àwọn èèyàn. If there's any gold refinery, it should be in the northern part, not in Lagos State. Òun lẹ́yìn ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ inú yín ò dùn sí láìkẹ́ ṣe kankan. Kò sí wàhálà. Ẹ wá wo fídíò yìí.
Billion. By the time he added up all the contributions coming from the Southeast, he arrived at 27 billion naira. And when he compared it with what came from Oyo State, it was almost 3 times the size of the revenue that comes from Oyo State. So Oyo State almost produced 3 times the revenue of the whole of the Southeast. But here is my grouse. Are the people, are the Yorubas living in Oyo State, are they being fed this huge, humongous resources that is coming? No, the answer is no. The reason is the Oyo State government is so sane that it want to now make that the whole of those infrastructure that money can produce for the rest of Nigeria. It want to build facilities that the whole of the rest of Nigeria can enjoy. And that is the crisis problem the Yorubas are facing today. If you look at your progenitors and you look at the leaders of your leaders past, you will notice that they had a Yoruba First initiative. When the rest of the nation were pursuing just money like the Igbos, Awolowo was pursuing education. And it was a Yoruba First initiative. Today, it has pitched Yoruba and it has put Yoruba at the forefront of Nigerian development. So why are the young generations and the leaders of today not having a Yoruba consciousness where all Yorubas should be privileged Nigerians? It's not too difficult to ask. Health and resources to Yoruba people. Lagos cannot be the 4th largest economy in Africa, and a Yoruba man is not seen like how we see the Arabs. It is because these huge, humongous resources is not actually being championed for the betterment of the Yoruba people. It is used for the welfare of Nigeria and the rest of all the other tribes in Nigeria. Come to Lagos. There are no privileges you give to the Yorubas. I live in Lagos. There is nothing I enjoy that the Yoruba have some level of privileges. Now, let me shock you. In my zone, we don't hide it. We tell the oil companies that all your employment has to be from the Niger Delta. If you have to give them, this is the quota you must give. If you don't want, don't operate. We told Dangote. And Dangote said, can't operate that way. They get out from our land. That's what we said to Dangote. That is why a lot of companies that come, we just tell them, every month, this is what you pay to this community. Every month, this is what you pay. There are communities in the Niger Deltas that have 24 hours, like it's not provided by Nigerian government. It is provided by these oil companies. We don't need to go and discuss with federal government. No. We don't have time to be discussing with federal government. We discuss with you that have come to use our resources. Here is our conditions. If you are not willing to play according to our conditions, we are not even interested in you going to court. No, even with your court, with your federal might and everything, that company will not run. If we say this is what we want. A lot of our children in the Niger Deltas, we go to Benedict universities today, you see a lot of them on scholarship. They pay millions in school fees, but they don't know where that money is coming from. It is because leadership have told this oil company, we must leave without working. That is why sometimes you look at the Niger Delta, we seem lazy. But again, how we live our life, it is how we're choosing to do it. And that is what I am not saying in the Yoruba land. That if Cliff can come into Yoruba and have so much ease, without any constraint, I'm not scared, I'm not being interfered, I'm not being subjected to some form of strain, so that I look back to my land and say, oh, sweet home. That's the reason the Igbos do not say there is no place like home. When you are in the UK, can you feel the pressure that is coming from the UK? You begin to remember Nigeria and say, oh, Nigeria, if not a bad government, we should be enjoying Nigeria.
Eba. Ṣẹ́yìn náà gbọ́ àlàyé nínú fídíò yẹn. Ọmọ Yíbò ló ń ṣe àlàyé yẹn. Tó bá ní ẹ̀yà wo ló wà nínú Nàìjíríà tó yẹ kí gbogbo ẹ̀yà tó kù kí wọ́n gbé sórí bíi gálà kan máa họ̀kẹ́. Àwa Yorùbá ni, àwa ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire ni. Because gbogbo àwọn leaders and elders wa gbogbo nǹkan tó belong sí wa tó yẹ ká fi máa jẹ́ Yorùbá, òun ni wọ́n ti sọ di tiwọn Nàìjíríà. Anything solid mineral or mineral resources, one Nigeria ni, it belongs to one Nigeria. But tó bá ti jẹ́ ti north, belongs to the northern part of Nigeria. Ẹ máa gbọ́ àlàyé tí brother wa yìí ṣe wípé ní ọ̀dọ̀ wọn tó ti ń kó crude oil. Wọ́n ń gba owó not from the federal. Àwọn company tó wá ń wá crude oil ní ọ̀dọ̀ wọn ní Delta ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Ó ní iye owó tí wọ́n ń gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Àìmọye àwọn student wọn náà fún ní scholarship and so many other things. But ní ọ̀dọ̀ títí wa, ṣebí nítorí àwọn solid minerals yẹn náà ṣe ń pa àwọn èèyàn. Ṣebí nítorí ẹ̀ náà ṣe ń pa àwọn èèyàn wa. Yet, gbogbo bí wọ́n ṣe ń wá títí dìsín ẹwẹ́lẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ìbàdàn tí Mákindé gbowó ẹ̀ tó lọ gbé sínú àkáǹtì ẹ̀. Bọ́n bá ṣe ń wakùsà yẹn, wọ́n ń tà, wọ́n build ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n lọ remit owó yẹn fún wọn Nàìjíríà, èyí tó kù wọ́n á pín láàrin ara wọn àtọba àti gọ́vnà àti gbogbo kọ́kọ̀sì wọn. Kò wá sí nǹkan ẹyọ kan tí àwa tá jẹ́ onílẹ̀ àbáwá aráàlú tá ní àwọn kìíní tá benefit from them. Ṣé ti rí ọ̀nà tí àwọn leaders and our political leader and our traditional rulers, ṣé ti rí ọ̀nà tó fi follow hand wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ oòjíire kó develop? Ẹni ègbé ló pọ̀ jù láàrin wọn. And I'm not sorry to say this. Because báwo làgbà ṣe máa wà torí ọmọ tó ń wà lọ́jà torí ọmọ tuntun wọ́. A dẹ̀ pariwo àwọn nǹkan tá a fẹ́, àwọn nǹkan tá a fẹ́. Èyí tó fi máa dá ìwọ àtèmi lóhùn. Iṣẹ́ mà ni wọ́n á sọ wípé ṣe la rí wọn fín. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ti rí nísìn? The same northerner tí wọ́n pariwo wípé one Nigeria is not negotiable. Àwọn náà ni wọ́n ṣe kí ni? Àwọn náà ni wọ́n pariwo síta sìn. gold refinery plant tí wọ́n náà fẹ́ gbé tọ́yìn stores sí Lagos State láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ láti máa refine gold á tún create more job tí mo pariwo nínú fídíò lánàá pa kú oríire ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín òkúkú understand ó dẹ̀ pé majority yín gbogbo àwọn èèyàn lẹ́ ń bájà tẹ́ ní wọn sókun àyà because kò kí jẹ́ kẹ́ rí àwọn nǹkan tó bá yẹ kẹ́ rí àwọn nǹkan tó bá jáde tó yẹ ká unite ká wo ọ̀nà tó yẹ máa fi benefit ń bí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá àwọn ọmọ káàrọ̀ òjìrì àti ilẹ̀ wa á kàn gbé dànù because of hatred kan tí ò lórí tí ò nídìí àlàyé tí mo ṣe nínú fídíò yẹn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín láìkẹ́ kò tiẹ̀ múùfù yín tiẹ̀ ríro kò tiẹ̀ yé yín ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tí ò jọ yín lójú ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàrọ̀ òjìrè ó làwọn northern ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ogun ti President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wípé láyé kò possible kí wọ́n máa wá gold ní north kan wá gbé refinery ẹ̀ wá sí Lagos State ṣe ti ráyé wa báyìí àwọn northern leader tún ní o tó bá dé ìyàwó àdè sọ fún ìwà tèmi wípé one Nigeria is not negotiable mò ń bọ̀ tó yí ẹ ok ẹ wá gbọ́ nǹkan táwọn northern tí wọ́n ṣe kí ni tí wọ́n kọ ó ti gùn jù lẹ́tà àtànkọ ó ní agbára. The Northern Elders Forum NEF yesterday accused the federal government of locating the National Gold Refinery in Lagos State. Ẹ wá gbọ́ àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ. Nigeria's decision to refine gold far from its sources is therefore not merely unconventional. It is economically regressive to again remove the locus of value addition from the community is to perpetuate an extractive model reminiscent of colonial economics, where raw materials are sourced from the periphery and wealth is accumulated at the center. Such a model is incompatible with modern federalism, incompatible with constitutional equity, and incompatible with Nigerian stated development objects. Hey! Wọ́n tún tẹ̀síwájú o, wọ́n ní Northern Nigeria, particularly states such as Zamfara, Kebbi, Naija, Kaduna, Katsina, and adjoining areas has absorbed the environmental degradation, social dislocation, insecurity, and criminal networks associated with unregulated mining. Yet, when the moment arrives to locate refining infrastructure that will create skilled employment, stimulate technology transfer, and catalyze industrial clusters, the region is once again bypassed. This is not abstract policy choice. It is a lived injustice. Ṣé ń gbọ́? Wọ́n ní ibi tí gold pọ̀ sí jù tí wọ́n ti ń refine tí wọ́n ti ń ṣe tó ti ń wakùsà ibẹ̀ yẹn gangan ló yẹ kí wọ́n gbé refined plant, gold refined plant, ibẹ̀ ló yẹ kí bàbá Tinubu kó gbé sí. Kò yẹ kí wọ́n máa wá gold ní northern part of Nigeria bíi Zamfara, Kebbi, Naija, Kaduna, Katsina àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn tó ti fa insecurity, terrorism àti gbogbo oríṣiríṣi wàhálà ń bẹ tó wá di ìgbà tó fẹ́ yẹ kí wọ́n máa jèrè ẹ̀. Ìdí tí wọ́n àwọn terrorists ṣe pọ̀ ń bẹ tí wọ́n ṣe ń pa wọ́n tí ìyà ń jẹ wọ́n ní ìgbà tó wá fẹ́ benefit kíní yẹn wá ìtàn ṣe wá gbé lọ sí another region. Ohun tí wọ́n sọ ń bí nìyẹn. For decades, northern Nigeria has been reduced to a triple extraction zone. The supplier of raw minerals, the supplier of agricultural produce, and the supplier of cheap labor, while processing, branding, financing, and industrial infrastructure are constantly cited elsewhere. Northern farmers. Every refinery sited away from the resource zone deepens youth despair. Every agro-processing plant denied to the north accelerates rural collapse. Every lost industrial anchor strengthens the condition that breed banditry, kidnapping, and mass poverty. These outcomes are not mysterious. They are predictable consequences of structural exclusion. What made this moment unforgivable is not only federal insensitivity, but elite cowardice. Where are the northern governors who invoke unity while accepting economic strangulation? Where are the senators, ministers, party shiftings, and traditional power brokers who enjoy proximity to power but cannot defend the economic dignity of their people? If northern elites cannot speak when the region is systematically excluded from mineral and agricultural value chains, history will record that today's leadership traded regional dignity for access to political favor and power. No rhetoric about national cohesion can survive sustained economic humiliation. Lọ́rọ̀ kan ṣá, àwọn northern leaders and others, wọ́n ti fárígá. Wọ́n ti yarí o, wọ́n ní láyéláyé kò jọ lákẹ́ kò jọ lóko, kò pọ́. Let's go. Wọ́n ti fárígá. Ṣé kò yẹ lẹ́nu? The same set of people, one Nigeria, náà rojọ́ tó yẹn lórí gold refining plants tó fẹ́ gbé sí Lagos State. Wọ́n ní ọ̀dọ̀ wọn náà ti ń wa gold jù, ọ̀dọ̀ wọn ló yẹ kán gbé plant yẹn sí. Ìgbà tí benefit ẹ̀ ti wá dé, tí ó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n á gain mọ́ employees, iṣẹ́ wà, oríṣiríṣi nǹkan la máa benefit from it. Tó bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ fully, wọ́n ní north ló yẹ kó wà, kò yẹ kó jẹ́ pé Lagos State. Okay. Ìjọba bàbá Tinubu federal government, wọ́n ti reply àwọn northerner, ẹ̀rí bọ́n ṣe ń fàájá. Fífà ẹni. Gold refinery in Lagos owned by private company, says federal government. Wọ́n ní the gold refinery set up in Lagos is owned by a private company, the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development says. Federal government ti dá àwọn northern leaders lóhùn wípé ẹ lọ sọ́wọ́ agbẹjẹmọ́wọ́ kẹ́ ṣe kíni ó bá ti àgbàdo sí wọn lẹ́nu ní àbí wọ́n já búrẹ́dì sẹ́nu wọn kàn márùn jẹ ẹ má tí làágùn jìnnà gold refinery tẹni kan wá gbé sí wá sí Zamfara, Naija, gbogbo Borno àti gbogbo everywhere ní north wọ́n ní kì í ṣe federal government ló ṣe o, private sector ni, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tó ní wọ́n ní Lagos State làwọn fẹ́ kí iléeṣẹ́ yẹn kó wà. Ó ti jọ yín, it don't pay no na. However, my northern leaders and elders, federal government has answered you. That gold refinery plant is not from the federal government. Rather, it's a private sector. It belongs to some people, not federal. However, and after, you will come out and tell us what Nigeria is not negotiable. Tell me, northern leaders and others should come out and tell us, all of us, what makes one Nigeria and not all what is happening right now. What makes one Nigeria there? Kí ló rí nínú gbogbo nǹkan tí mo ti ń ṣe látàárọ̀ tó make one Nigeria? Alama pín ni, ànígbà, alùbátà ẹ̀dárin, torí tí Nigeria ò bá pín, tí Yorùbá ò bá kúrò, bí Káàárọ̀ Oòjíire kúrò ní one Nigeria, lè gòkè àgbà. Wọn ò ní jẹ́ ká fògo wa hàn fáyé rí. Orúkọ tèmi ò yípadà, Ìyédára Kowé ni mò ń jẹ́. Má gbàgbé láti fún mi ní support. Má sì gbàgbé láti bá mi share. Don't forget your comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for your love and support always. Remain blessed. Bye.